Bells will be ringing. Cats will be singing. Coconut mixed with chocolate. Nothing rhymes with chocolate, so I'm out of rhymes. Merry Christmas. Let's get some Christmas noms. It's the holiday season, and thanks to global warming and climate change, there's no snow on the ground in the western US, but we're not letting that dampen the mood. Today we're going to take some time and look at the quintessential Christmas stocking stuffer, cookies. Specifically, Pepperidge Farm Milanos, a cookie so ubiquitous you probably don't even notice them on store shelves anymore. First up, Basic Bee Milk Chocolate. If there's a default form the cookie can take and it's not going to be chocolate chip, then this is it. In this case, you'll notice the packaging is Christmas themed, but I don't think that affects the recipe. These guys will run you between $4 and $5 per bag, depending on whether you get them on sale or not. You get 15 cookies in each one. They aren't bad at all. I feel like you could make a business selling these. Oh, you mean somebody did? Huh. There's not too much in the way of chocolate flavor going on here, so it's mostly cookie. The cookie's good though, so it works. A little dry, but actual milk will help you with that. Double milk chocolate implies that there's twice as much milk chocolate. And hey, the label even says there's twice as much. They wouldn't lie about advertising at Christmas, would they? Would they? Nah, I'm sure it's fine. Alright, at a glance, there's about twice as much chocolate between the slabs of cookie, so I'll give them that. There doesn't seem to be too much of a difference though, other than visually. It's the same ingredients. I don't know if I just don't have a sophisticated enough palate, but I didn't taste much of a difference between these and the regular milk chocolate. It's all just overwhelmed by the taste of the cookie itself. The dark chocolate's kind of the same story as the milk chocolate ones. Lots of cookie taste, little bit of chocolate. Also, I don't know if it's possible to tear these bags open without ripping them to shreds. To shreds, you say? What about the cookies? To shreds, you say? Just kidding, the cookies held up fine. Anyway, there's some nice dark chocolate flavor in these little guys, which helps them stand out from the Hershey's flavor of the milk chocolate. You're going to notice a theme here with these first ones. There's an overwhelming flavor of cookie over chocolate for these first four. The chocolate just isn't high enough quality to make these anything other than serviceable. Spoilers, it's the same story with a double dark chocolate, so let's talk about the actual cookie for a second. I know the label says delicate, and they're not exactly putting up a fight when you chew them. They're not Oreos, though. I think the one word I'd use to describe them is dry. I'm not sure if you're into dipping your cookies. If you're not, you should try it. If you are, coffee or milk would go a long way in making these better. They don't really fall apart unless you're absolutely logging them with liquid. We all dunked Oreos in milk as a kid until they became a soggy mush, and we're better people for it. A light dunk to moisten these up would go a really long way, I think. Now we're getting into the fruity flavors, and I'm going to start with my biggest disappointment of the bunch. And if anyone asks, I'm terrible at burying the lead. These taste exactly like fake raspberry flavor. If you've ever had those raspberry chocolate sticks that show up around Christmas but are actually here year-round and you just don't notice them, yeah, these taste identical. And I'm not trying to yuck your yum if you're into that, but I love real raspberries and they just don't taste anything like them. That fake raspberry flavor overpowers everything, and that's all I get. It's not my thing, but if it's yours, I'll understand. Next, we're going to switch things up with one of the two white chocolate ones, lemon being the first. I really like all the white chocolate varieties I tried. I like white chocolate in general, but I normally don't enjoy lemon-flavored sweets. The sourness usually gets to me before I can taste anything else, and that definitely isn't the case here. The lemon flavoring here is so subtle that it melds really well with the rest of the cookie. This one's amazing, highly recommend it. Still not quite my favorite though. Moving on, another citrus flavor, orange this time. These taste exactly like the basic milk chocolate, just infused with orange. Honestly, the most impressive thing about this cookie was that the smell called one of my kitties over. This is His Royal Majesty Bandito Flipperton del Taco Cat. He's a curious little explorer, always sticking his nose in things and getting his tail in my shots. He's a very good kitty. Sadly, this is not a very good cookie. It tastes like a subpar off-brand Terry's chocolate orange, and it just doesn't mesh well with the cookie flavor. Did not enjoy it. Let's take a break for a second here and give Bandit some tummy tickles. Okie dokie, next up another white chocolate one. Strawberry this time. Probably my favorite fruit in terms of flavor. I love a good strawberry milkshake every once in a while. Weirdest thing ever, opening this bag left me with the most horrendous rotten egg smell I've ever encountered from a cookie. It went away after about a second, but it caught me off guard. The taste, on the other hand, was great. Super creamy, lots of strawberry, not even a little bit of the smell I encountered. I came back the next day and opened the bag again, and the smell was still there. No idea what was up with that. Good cookie though. Now, my favorite of the bunch, coconut white chocolate. I have to be upfront about this one, there's hardly any coconut in here. The ingredients label agrees since coconut is near the bottom in the under 2% section. What's front and center though is the vanilla flavor. These are probably the tastiest vanilla cookies I've ever had. They're like biting into a crunchy ice cream cone filled with Bluebell homemade vanilla. They're so good. I love these so much. I immediately went and bought several packs of them. Please try them, especially if you don't like coconut. They're so incredible. Okay, mint chocolate time. The packaging on this one is what originally caught my eye in the grocery store and spawned this entire video and blog post. I mean, it's definitely festive, but it feels a little forced. Nothing about mint chocolate really screams holidays to me so much as it screams Thin Mints or Andes Mints. But anyway, the cookie itself is fine. It's not bad by any means, but with so many other mint cookies on the market, nothing about Milano's particularly sets it apart. If you like regular milk chocolate and you like mint flavoring, you'll probably like these. It's just, with some of the really good cookies on this list, I think you're better off eating one of the white chocolate ones instead of getting this. Mint chocolate is probably in B or C tier, right around the middle. Okay, for our final entry on this review, we're taking a look at a weird one. These are Milano slices, covered in chocolate and some sort of peppermint crystal concoction. The sugar crystals are huge and easily the most identifiable feature of these. What isn't identifiable is any sort of peppermint. I taste chocolate, sugar, and red 40. There's a hint of something minty on the back end, but it's gotta be some sort of flavoring oil. Still, it's there, I guess. These do seem to be unique though, and I mean, the way they look does set them apart quite a bit. Overall, I don't have any real complaints. They're not my favorite, but they're not terrible either, and they're at least a little more interesting than the other cookies, based on the way they look. You could do worse for a stocking stuffer. I think that's all for today. We have one more video coming this year. I hope you and yours have the merriest Christmas and a happy holiday, whatever you celebrate.